It's my birthday week. The sun is out again and shining, and John Walker got knocked out like he was Ben Askren. What more can a man ask for? Hello and welcome to Voice of the Fat Mantis and my review of Episode 5 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is not just a review, but it's also a deep dive analysis and predictions video for things that are going to be happening in the MCU. This episode did an amazing job of bringing back old characters and setting up an amazing finale. We get a return of various characters like Sam's sister, the storyline about the boat, kind of stuff that we thought was boring and misplaced, but it finally gets rectified in one of the three montages here, where we get to see the culmination of Sam and Bucky's bromance. He helps them build the boat, he flirts with his sister, and at the end they're drinking beers together, as buddies should, which unfortunately makes me worry that there may be foreshadowing that Sam or Bucky might be doing something to mess up their friendship in the future. Is it possible that Winter Soldier is going to execute Carly, making Sam not trust him? Who knows? This episode does another amazing job of setting up a Sam Wilson Captain America, Joaquin Torres as the new Falcon, and setting up the Thunderbolts. I thought it was amazing. Ultimately, I give this episode a 94. Yes, best score so far. Spoilers, now is your time to get the heck out of this video. And we begin. The episode starts off with John Walker running for his life, where he is trying to avoid apprehension for his murder that he just committed. He unfortunately runs into Bucky and Falcon, thinking he might be able to talk his way out of it. The smack talk was done really well in this sequence. And what happens is a super-powered battle over not just arresting him, but for the shield. Literally, characters are exchanging the shields, snatching out of each other's hands throughout the sequence. Eventually, they defeat John Walker spectacularly when they break his arm and they knock him out. It was beautiful. And an extremely powerful sequence was with Sam Wilson has the shield in his hands, and he has no rag or no towel or anything, and he's just using his hands frantically to wipe the blood off of the shield. He's trying to clean the legacy of Steve Rogers, which has now been sullied by the vile acts of John Walker. And now I'm totally not sympathetic to John Walker. I understand what he would do. I mean, if you laced my best friend right in front of me, I might have killed all 10 of those terrorists. I understand his rage, don't get me wrong on this one. Now, there's a lot of great moments here going on. An important thing that ends up happening in this episode is Baron Zemo willingly allows himself to be apprehended. But what he really wanted in his escape was to have a moment alone with James Buchanan Barnes. That's right, the Winter Soldier. Before he gets arrested, he reminds him that you are the killer that we need in this world. Will you do the right thing and actually execute these terrorists? Now, it seems that Bucky has total control over himself in this sequence, but I have a feeling that Baron Zemo is far more convincing than we understand, and that James might be the one to pull the trigger on Carly. I think it's very likely that that's going to happen. Now, what to do with the shield? Sam goes to Isaiah Bradley, who I'm so glad returns to the series. I'm glad that he didn't have just that one cameo, and this is a very important part. Now, he's obviously refuses the shield, but then we get to hear his tragic tale. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually was brought to tears hearing of the injustice of Isaiah Bradley, what happened to him, that he fought for his country, that he did everything in his power to do the right thing, and his government totally screwed him over. It was horrible. Think about it, just losing 30 years of your life, being experimented on, it was just tragic. However, Sam has to do a wake-up call. America and the legacy of the flag has really done a lot of horrible things to blacks. Let's get real. And Sam has to ask himself, is he going to be bitter like Isaiah Bradley? Rightfully so. Or is he going to try to help mend all the problems going on? And honestly, let's face it, a black Captain America would go a long way. But that's neither here nor there. Amazing sequence, absolutely loved it. Now we're going to go into John Walker as he tries to defend himself, I guess for Congress or senators, whoever these politicians are, the military brass as well. And he gets publicly canceled in the worst way. Everybody hates this man. And he's basically getting thrown under the bridge. under the fire, under the truck wheels. I don't know what to call it, but he is on and done. However, we get a very interesting cameo here, and this is from Julia Louis-Dreyfus appears, and she is playing a comic book character using the surname of Madam Hydra. Now, Madam Hydra in the comic books was a triple agent. She was one of the similar to Sharon Carter, she's a spy master who jumps allegiances and all these things, but her true allegiance is to Hydra. Now, what's interestingly is in the comics, she has a white streak in her hair, and what they chose to do is change her white streak to a purple streak. Now, in the comics, there is another character who has a purple streak. That is Victoria Hand, this right-hand woman of Norman Osborn when he was in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Dark Avengers. So this is I believe they're doing a hodgepodge character, and they're mixing them into one. They're making both Madam Hydra and Victoria Hand into one character. Now, as we've said before, the Thunderbolts are on the horizon, and it's becoming more and more clear. I have a feeling that instead of having Norman Osborn be the brainchild of the Dark Avengers, they're going to do General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. And he's going to not only recruit the Thunderbolts who are ex-criminals, but he's going to make them the new Avengers, and they will be the Dark Avengers. Who better to lead it than a Dark Captain America like John Walker? I think he'd be a great field commander because, well, he's kind of a psycho, as we'll see as we discuss more of this episode. So, I believe that Madam Hydra, or should I say Victoria Hand, will be his right-hand man. However, she is secretly really working for Hydra. This is all coming together excellently. And so it looks like John Walker is going to be recruited into this organization. Now, there were a lot of montages in this episode. The first one, as we discussed before, was the boat sequence. But then there was also Sam training with the S.H.I.E.L.D., which was awesome. I think there were a lot of jokes on the internet about this montage, but I loved it. It was fascinating to see him throw this thing, and he's working. As he said to Bucky, he's doing the work to make things right in the world of Captain America and the whole legacy situation. Now, the third montage ends up in the end credits scene where John Walker refuses to give up the mantle of Captain America and makes his own faux shield out of aluminum siding or something like that. I don't know what he's thinking. Maybe he's just posing as Captain America, but he should realize that any fight he's going to get in, that shield is going to be completely obliterated. It'll be interesting to see what the fights look like. And so finally, I want to talk about one of the most controversial and probably biggest theory crafting going on in this series, and it's Sharon Carter. So, is she the power broker, or is she not the power broker? So, there are a lot of things that suggest she is. My theory is that she's working in the organization of the power broker, and that she really is a government spy, an American spy, trying to overthrow them and take them out. And the first indication of this is if she was the power broker, why would she introduce Sam and Bucky to the one scientist who can make the super soldier serum? They knew they would either arrest him or kill him. So why would she just bring him directly to him? That would go directly against her motivation if she was the power broker, and doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, I think it's possible she does want the super soldier serum situation to be completely obliterated and destroyed, and that she is playing both sides. But ultimately, I do not believe that they would make the niece of Peggy Carter a traitor to America and a super villain. But what do you guys think? Please let me know down in the comments. This episode ends up giving us everything we want as Marvel fans. It set up future things. It had cameos from other, comic book references, and it's basically everything we want. And let's face it, I am counting down the moments until I can see the final episode 6, this Thursday or Friday night. But there you have it, guys. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And remember to keep tuning in to Voice of the Fat Mantis for more reviews, deep dives, predictions and theory crafting, and other shenanigans. And also, check me out every Thursday night on Spoon on Rogue Planet as I do a nerd review and interview show. If you don't have Spoon, well, quickly just go head on over to your app store, download it. It's a fun audio-only streaming service. Basically, you create your own radio station. It is a lot of fun. So love to see you guys there. Until next time, ciao for now.